Good afternoon, everybody. Christine Barconi here in the NBC4i Streaming Center, joined by NBC4 anchor Colleen Marshall. And you know, when she joins me in the Streaming Center, something big has happened, and something big politically has happened. Dr. Amy Acton, former Ohio Department of Health Director, says she will not be running for Senate in 2022. Colleen, what does this mean for the race?
You know, first of all, I have to tell you that I was surprised at this announcement today because, as you remember, after she left the health department last summer, she really went to the Columbus Foundation with this campaign of kindness and some of her public outreach that she was doing on behalf of the Columbus Foundation. But then she resigned from that position because of this possible run for the United States Senate. And everyone thought, well, she's stepping away from her job. She's very serious about this. Also, Christine, insiders in the Democratic Party found her to be a very attractive candidate. They did internal polling, they did polling across the state, and she had a 75% approval rating,
That's
which
very
is
high.
Unprecedented for someone who has never before run for public office. So she had great name recognition. She had a lot of public support. She was a popular candidate. She was considered to be someone who was honest and kind. The AP called her a folk hero of the COVID crisis. But she also had some controversy, if you remember. Those business decisions that she made to shut down, lock down businesses came with some controversy. And because of that, there were death threats against her. There were protesters outside her house. A lot of people thought that was the reason she stepped down from the health department. So all of that came together, thinking that this made her the ideal candidate for the United States Senate. And we have this, I know you put it up, right? This kind of lengthy,
very full statement,
statement that she made, but nowhere in it does she really say why she's stepping down. She talks about the importance of Ohioans coming together. She says the real leaders for the state are you, people, the citizens of the state, who have to hold office holders to a higher bar. She talks about her gratitude for being supported by people all across the country. She was getting, I'm told, financial support, not only economic support, but just people encouraging her to make this run. But for whatever reason today, she said she is not running. And she says at the end of this, a note to my dear colleagues, fellow citizens, and friends in the press. I am humbled by the invitations. I sincerely appreciate your understanding as I take a step back from public life to carefully consider my next chapter. So she's not even giving interviews on this. She wants us basically to leave her alone.
Yes, she said thank you, but no thank you before you even sent the email.
And she says she looks forward to future conversations. So there's a lot of speculation about why. Was it the stress? Was it the maybe she never envisioned herself. She's a public health expert. Maybe she never envisioned herself in the political arena. She certainly was being encouraged, though, to take that step, and now she's out.
Absolutely. Colleen, you were one of very few people who actually did get to interview her post her tenure at the health department. I requested several times. I know journalists across the state and the country requested several times, but you did have the opportunity to speak to her. And when I was reading that full letter, we heard from her voice so much at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was really all eyes on the TV at that point during that period of uncertainty. In that letter to me, I read it in her voice. It sounded like she wrote that. It didn't sound like I'm sure she had help, but
I agree with that.
PR machine writing it. It sounded like her voice, her statement.
Well, you know, Christine, when I did talk to her after she left the health department and went to the Columbus Foundation, she talked a lot about how people need to be united, that her mission was to get people to work to help each other, that there were a lot of people still suffering because of the coronavirus, but that we all had hope and that we could all come together. She was very optimistic, but one of the things that she preached was this, as I said, this campaign of kindness, and it's all through this letter. I encourage people to go online if you're interested in what she had to say. She says, we are weary from the battle. No one has gone untouched, and much has been exposed and revealed. Yet, as we cautiously reemerge this spring, we dare to hope that a new way is possible. And she talks about finding new leadership, setting a higher bar. A lot of people thought she was that person, the new leader who could raise the bar and hold people to a different standard in government and in public service. I really would be interested in knowing the full story, but
maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe when she steps back a little bit, she'll be willing to do that. But
absolutely.
For now, she's out. Now, we've also got to know that there are probably people doing some handstands, including Congressman Tim Ryan.
I mean, I'm looking at the comments. They're all over the place. Happy people, sad people. Like you had mentioned, divisive in some areas.
Divisive, but not only that, people who might have to go against her on a political ticket.
Yes, let's
in
talk
the Democratic
about that.
primary.
Yes.
Tim Ryan, I just spoke to him yesterday. I wish I had known this about Amy Acton yesterday.
Yes.
But he hasn't officially announced, but he's going to within the next few weeks. And he is doing everything that indicates that he's going to be a candidate for Senate. So he has to be happy that he doesn't have to face somebody with that level of popularity on the Democratic ticket. You have to wonder if maybe somebody like Nan Whaley, the mayor of Dayton, might now say, wait, maybe there's a place for me, for a woman to get into the race now that Amy Acton is out, and she would have been a formidable opponent. Maybe we'll see someone like Nan Whaley getting in the race on the Democratic ticket. I just spoke earlier this afternoon with Jane Timken again, before I knew about Amy. But Jane Timken on the Republican side is getting ready for a heated battle against Josh Mandel in the Republican primary.
And he had already invoked Dr. Acton's name several times.
Several times. They've been highly critical of her and of the way that Mike DeWine has handled this in their own party. And there are strong rumors that J.D. Vance, the author who wrote Hillbilly Elegy, that he might be coming very close. In fact, he's raising money, so he would also be someone who would be a candidate, and possibly Steve Stivers on the Republican ticket as well, congressman from here in Central Ohio.
We had another announcement this morning, too. A businessman, I believe, out of the Cleveland area. I have his name written down here. It is a Bernie Moreno.
Yeah, a lot of people had been waiting for him. It's not unexpected that he's very successful.
Yes.
From what I've been told, able to fund his own campaign. A lot of getting into politics as a first-time candidate is getting money.
Yes.
Especially in a state like Ohio. This is such an expensive state to run in. There are so many television markets that you have to buy ads for. Some states have 1 or 2 TV markets.
What do we have, like 7 or 8?
I think we have, when you count where it bleeds over, like Huntington in West Virginia, we have almost 10 markets, I think, that you have to buy. You have to buy some time up in the Detroit area because that bleeds over into the northern part of Ohio. So it's an expensive place to run for election. So I'm not surprised that a successful businessman would be getting into the race.
Absolutely, Colleen. Just one more question for you. I know you've got to get going. What is the last date do you expect that people could announce? When are we going to hear, like up to the last minute, I suppose?
The primary, obviously, the primary won't be until next May. It's a year away. But anybody who seriously wants to be in this race is going to have to do it before summer because it involves name recognition. You have to get out there and start. There's already declared candidates. Jane Timken and Josh Mandel on the Republican side are already out there running. Tim Ryan is as good as running, even though he's not officially a candidate yet. I can't imagine in a race. It's a rare thing to have an open Senate seat. To have an incumbent like Rob Portman, who that far out announced that he will not be running. So there's going to be a lot of money, a lot of attention, and if you are a serious candidate, I can't imagine that you would wait until after July to announce what you're going to do.
All right, guys, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Those who are watching on Facebook, if you want to click the link that is in the description of this video, that's where you can find Amy Acton's full statement about why she will not be running for the U.S. Senate seat in 2022. And we also have got a full list of everybody who has officially and has hinted at running on both sides. And then we'll have more on First at 4 as well. Thank you so much.